So socrative, here we have the ability to ask short questions or true-false quizzes. And just imagine that you could harvest the responses from every single one of your students who are able to express themselves without fear that they're being judged by other people in the room. So that's what the true-false quiz is. So we'll just start a simple true-false quiz here. I've got 2 students in the room. Now, so I give them the questions. So, for example, Stockholm is the capital of Sweden. And as soon as the responses are coming in, we're getting the true and the false displayed on there. So my 2 students both think it's true, and of course the answer is true. Now just think of that over your whole class. In this one step further, what about actually wanting a snapshot of what the students understand in terms of perhaps a sentence that they write, something like that. And we're going to do this via a short answer, single question activity. So here in this activity, I can choose for students to have unlimited goes at the activity or just one go. I can require them to be anonymous or allow them to be anonymous, or I can require them to give their name. So I'm going to go for a single response that requires their name, and I'll set the question here. So my students are already in the room, and the first question is, of course, to enter their name. So my students are going to answer the questions now. Now, of course, as soon as the items have come in, I can see the answers. I can actually see who's written what. I can now make the decision as to whether to allow the students also to see these answers so that they can vote on them. Here they now come in wonderfully without the names. Now, the students, of course, can vote on however many there are, maybe 25 in a class. They're going to have 25 options there, and they're going to choose which one they think is the best. Perhaps they've been working in groups. 25 would seem to be a little bit unmanageable, perhaps. The wonderful thing about socrative, of course, is I can now email the report of the activity out to myself. So here's my report. It's come straight into my email associated with my socrative account. It's come out as an Excel spreadsheet. And here you can see I've got the record of who said what, as well as the voting. I can, of course, push that out to some form of storage so that I can see it later and I can store it in a different location, in other words, than just my email. So perhaps open in Numbers or store it in something like Google Drive or Dropbox.